welcome to your gentle flow and deep stretch. You can get started off on your back in opening Shavasana. If you are going to cue up your music, now's a great time to do it. And if you need something different in your legs, so maybe instead of them extending out in front of you, you could bend your knees and take a Supta Baddha Konasana, supine butterfly pose. And allow for the soles of your feet to come together, your heels in towards your sits bones, and let your knees hang comfortably open. Relax your shoulders down from your ears. If you have props, you could put blocks to the outside of your legs or something like that, if that feels more appropriate in your body. Just kind of settle in for a moment. Allow for your focus, your attention to go completely to your breath. So that's one of the ways that we stay present in our practice. It's a way if you are feeling anxiety, anxious, nervous throughout your day, you just come back to your breath, and that's the only thing you focus on. And so it allows for you to tap into your parasympathetic nervous system. You can actually even then begin to control the way your heart is beating. And my brother likes to kind of tease me because I say this in class all the time, but as you breathe in, you know that you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know you're breathing out. And if you do that for just even 5 breaths, you begin to notice how your body will relax. Maybe even some like micro relaxation releases throughout your entire body. Relax your brows and your jaw. And in this moment right here, setting an intention for your practice is something that serves you. Do that, right? And maybe that intention is just to step out of your day for an hour. Maybe it's to work on yourself, on your body, right? And whenever I say on your body, I mean on opening up spaces, right? Because your yoga is never about a physical workout. That part comes with it. But your yoga is about doing the work inside, right? It's a work in, not a work out. And then maybe your intention was just to feel the weight of your body in this moment right now. Notice how you're showing up physically, energetically, your subtle body, all that stuff. And then at the end of your practice to take stock of everything once more and just see if maybe you feel lighter. And it's okay if the answer is no, right? All right, y'all. If you have your knees bent on your next inhale, gently extend your legs forward. Reach your arms up overhead. Find a full body stretch. You can arch your low back up and away from the mats. Roll out your wrists and your ankles, go in both directions. And then you exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. So wrap your arms around your shins. My hips already are popping. Relax your shoulders from your ears. Now in this space, and since I can't see you, I don't know exactly, kind of what you're doing. But if you have a tendency to cross your ankles, I actually want you to bring ankle next to ankle so that your hips stay level. And then just baby rock side to side. So you start to get this gentle twist through your spine. And you can even turn your face in the opposite direction from your knees, right? Let your collarbones be broad. You're still breathing with your movement. Your face is soft and relaxed. On come through center. Exhale, bring your hands onto your kneecaps. Let your big toes stay touching. Your belly is soft but gently drawn in so that your low back kind of roots down to the ground. Now on your inhale, divide your knees. Draw circles on the ceiling with your knees. And on the exhale, bring your knees back through center. So when you inhale, take your knees out to the four corners of the room. And then exhale, bring them back through center. So you'll start to notice kind of, this is a rotation of the ball and socket joint of your hip, but it also releases through your lumbar spine. And then the next time you come through center, pause, and then go in the opposite direction. Move with your breath. And the next time you come through center, hug your knees back and towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Now let your left foot come down to the ground, but your left knee is still bent. Stir your right thigh bone around all by itself. So now it's just your right leg. Go in both directions. And then come through center. Inhale, let your low back root to the ground. You're more than welcome to use a strap here. You don't have to though. Exhale, extend your right leg up to the sky. I'm just going to take my hands behind my right hamstring. There's a flex to my right foot. Relax your shoulders back and down. And then you could take your knuckles and rub the back of your thigh. You could slide your hands up your calf, depending on how you feel today. You don't want to feel this around your kneecap or like in the back of your knee or in your gluteal fold on the right side. So if you do feel it kind of there, then make sure you bend your knee so that the sensation moves back towards the belly of your right hamstring. Slowly warming up here. Now take one more inhale. Exhale to a half happy baby. Peace fingers to your big toe. Your right knee draws in towards your right armpit. And then you'll notice probably as you draw your right knee down that your left hip starts to lift, because mine does. So try to pull your left hip back down. And then if it feels great, let your left knee splay open, right? And if that doesn't feel great, keep your knee up towards the sky. Breathe here. Now slowly let your left knee come back up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, take your right ankle towards your left knee or thigh. So you're in a figure four. There's a flex to your right foot. Let your right knee fall comfortably open. Roll your shoulders back and down again. If this is a lot of sensation, you're going to stay right here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can bring your left thigh, your left knee in towards your chest. Nuzzle your right forearm into your right inner thigh. And interlace your fingers around your hamstring or your shin. So you're in a reclined pigeon. And you still breathe here. I have a soft flex to both feet now to support both knees. Awesome. One more inhale right here. And then exhale, drop your left foot down to the ground. Keep your legs as they are. Inhale, open your arms out to a T. Now today, this first round, exhale, drop your knees to the right. You're using your right heel to the outside of your left knee as like a little additional weight. Now, I sometimes will feel a pull in my low back, so I pull my navel towards my spine. And then if that weight is too much, if this just doesn't feel good, you can slide your right foot off of your left knee. And then you're just in kind of like a windshield wiper, right? Good, y'all. Now on your inhale, slowly come back through center. If you took your right ankle off of your left knee, you're going to bring it right back. And then exhale, drop your knees to the left and turn your face to the right for a figure four spinal twist. We're going to come off of our back soon enough, so just enjoy this. Breathe in and out. On your next inhale, slowly come back through center. And then slowly release, hug both knees in towards your chest as you exhale. Wrap your arms around your shin. Roll your shoulders back and down. Bring your right foot down to the ground now. Your right knee is bent. Hug your left knee in. Perfect. And then you're going to stir your left thigh bone around. In both directions. Come back through center. Inhale. And then exhale again. You can use your strap. It's really not necessary because your hands could come to your thigh, right? Like, we're not going super deep here. In fact, I try not to say the word should, but at this point you shouldn't be going super deep on this left leg. This is your first big extension through your hamstring. So the knee could even be bent, right? Breathe. You can take your knuckles and kind of rub into that fascia right here, all around. I even go into the inner and outer thigh. And then over towards the meat of the belly of my hamstring. You want to bring your hands up towards your calf, draw your leg in a little bit more. It's there, right? And then you've got one more inhale here. And then exhale, bend your left knee. Come into your half happy baby. Peace fingers to your left big toe. Or your hand can come to your inner or outer arch of your foot. Breathe here. If you notice your right hip lifting, try to kind of root your right hip back down to the ground. And then you have that space where if it just feels great, let your right knee splay open, moving into your inner thigh and your groin. Make sure you keep breathing. One more inhale here. Now let your right knee point back to the sky if you opened it up. And then exhale, bring your left ankle to your right knee. Your right thigh, give it a little flex of your foot. And let your left knee fall away from your chest. So you might notice it really tries to draw in. Externally rotate through your left thigh bone and your hip and let your knee press away. If this is your sensation, you stay here. Otherwise, slowly bring the right thigh, right knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers around your hamstring or your shin. Gentle flex of both feet. One more inhale here. And then exhale, let your right foot come down to the ground. Keep the figure four of your feet, arms out like a T. Inhale here. Exhale, your knees fall to the left and turn your face to the right. So you're getting this right side body stretch. If it's too much for the low back, bring your left foot down to the ground. Draw your low belly in. Inhale, bring your knees back through center. And then exhale, drop your knees to the right and turn your face to the left for your figure four twist. All good, just breathe here. On your next inhale, come right back through center. This time as you exhale, unravel. Come into a happy baby. So full happy baby. Peace fingers to your big toes, knees towards the ground. Now you can rock side to side. You can just be here. Do you. Now release and bring your knees together. Slide your hands behind your thighs. Pull your low belly in. Your low back stays rounded as you rock forward and backward, taking your spinal rocks and rolls so that your back doesn't slap against the ground as you move. Take about maybe 3 of these. And on your last one, come forward. You're probably going to have to shimmy back on your mat a little bit so that you find yourself in your box pose. So stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. Bring your knees underneath your hips. And then with your inhale, drop a soft belly down towards the ground. Lift your chin, lift your tail. Find your cow pose. And then exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back, tuck your chin, tuck your tail for your cat pose. Inhale, roll back through, find a sway to your low back. And then exhale, reverse it. Dome out your upper back. Let's take one more inhale, belly down. And belly up. Really try to separate your shoulder blades. Now inhale into your neutral spine. As you exhale, tuck your toes and press your hips back towards your heels. So getting a little bit of a toe stretch. I reach back usually and pull my pinky toe out from underneath my 4th toe. It likes to hide under there. And then take a tuck-toed child's pose. Drape your chest on top of your thighs, your forehead down to the ground. Breathe here. Relax your shoulders back and down. And then I want you to just feel this out. So it doesn't have to be perfect, right? I want you to move and trust your body. So on your inhale, lift your hips and shift yourself forward. Untuck your toes. Exhale, lead with your heart, your throat, your chin, and melt yourself down to the ground. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest. Exhale, tuck your toes, child's pose. Inhale, lift yourself up, roll forward. Exhale, untuck your toes, bend your elbows, melt yourself down. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. And then exhale, take your hips to your heels, tuck-toed child's pose. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, lift your hips, shift yourself forward, navel to your spine. And then exhale, untuck and roll down. Inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, press your hips back. Tuck your toes. Last one. Inhale, lift yourself up, shift it forward. Exhale, melt yourself down and tuck your toes. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. And then exhale, tuck your toes, take your hips towards your heels and find child's pose. Now inhale, shift yourself up into your box pose. Draw the pit of your belly in and up. And then exhale, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. So speaking on your down dog, your feet might be about hip width distance apart. Your arms might be about shoulder width distance apart. That is very typical alignment. So if your body doesn't jive with that particular shape, then you've got to create something that works within your body. But do press down into the webbing between your thumb and your forefinger, because over time, if you're lifting that kind of force field up off of your mat, it starts to create tension up through the sides of your neck and kind of into your scalenes. And you might not feel it today, right? It's like months from now. So try to press down, root down, zip your low belly in and up. And then inhale, bend your knees to look forward. Now as many steps as you need. Exhale, take your feet to the top of your mat. Go ahead and leave them about hip width distance apart. With your inhale, slide your fingertips to your shins. Take your crown forward, your tailbone back, your belly up. And then exhale, ragdoll, grab opposite elbows and drop your crown down. Now you can stay right here in kind of stillness, or you could begin to shimmy your torso, kind of sway around. I like to think of like an elephant's trunk, right? It just kind of moves around. And then you'll come back through center. Let your hands come down to the ground. And you know what? Go ahead and leave your feet hip-width distance apart for right now. Completely exhale. Empty your lungs. Now root to rise. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. Look up. And then exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Lift your chest. Inhale, reach your arms high. Gaze up. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Fold yourself down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up to standing. Urdhva Hastasana, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, lift your chest. These are half sun salutations. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, bellies in, hinge forward, crown of your head down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, fold yourself down again. Root your feet down. Inhale, come all the way up, arms up, look up like you mean it. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. 2 more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow your head down. Inhale, all the way up. Last one. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach like you mean it. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Good, y'all. Now inhale, arms out and up, look up. Exhale, fold yourself down. Now inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step your left foot back and then soften your left knee down to the ground. So you could have blocks on either side of your right foot. With your inhale, pull your heart forward and then stay for a moment as you exhale. So with your hands down, I want you to feel your right heel root down into the ground and create this sensation like you're pulling your right heel back, navel to your spine. Inhale right here. Now exhale, shift yourself back, straighten your right leg and flex your toes back towards your shin. Now this is the second time we're hitting the right hamstring. So if you prefer, you can come into a pyramid pose instead of a half split, right? Now there are no heroes in yoga, so don't do it just because you think it's harder. Do it because you actually have some space and the half split doesn't feel like it's doing anything for you. You can always take a soft bend to your knee. Relax your shoulders back and down. Just breathe here. Good, y'all. Even in this pyramid pose, you could have blocks on either side of your right leg, right? And remember that the more your navel slides towards your right thigh bone in both variations, the easier it is to kind of naturally pull your right hip back and your left hip forward. Perfect. Now if your left knee is lifted, you're going to bend back into your right knee, bring your left knee down to the ground, and then we all inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Salamba Anjaneyasana, your supported crescent lunge. Exhale, cross your left arm under the right. So you can either hug opposite shoulders or you can eagle up your arms, whatever feels best to you, right? So find that space and just kind of be there. It's all good. Shoulders down. Breathe. And when you're ready, slowly release. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, frame your front foot with your hands. Inhale, curl up your left toes, lift your left knee. And then exhale, step your left foot forward. forward, Uttanasana, forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Step your right foot to the back of your mat and soften your right knee down for a moment. So in this space, kind of feeling out with your hands down on the ground and your left knee over your heel or your ankle, pull your left heel back. Feel the engagement of the leg, right? And you might also feel kind of how your right thigh tries to pull forward. Zip the pit of your belly in and up. And then one more inhale right here. Exhale, shift yourself back, straighten your left leg and flex your toes back towards your shin. Again, same option. If you already feel spacious there, you might pop up into pyramid instead of your half split. Breathe here. Lengthen your spine. So no matter where you are, think of your clavicles, your heart moving towards your left big toe or your ankle, rather than your nose to your knee. Breathe. Awesome, y'all. On your next inhale, bend back into your left knee. So if your right knee's lifted, go ahead and bring it down to the ground. Exhale. And then we all inhale, arms up overhead. Salamba Anjaneyasana. Reach your fingertips up like you mean it. And then exhale, take your right arm underneath the left, and you can either eagle up your arms palm to palm or hug opposite shoulders. Just breathe. Relax your face and gaze either at the tip of your nose or just directly in front of you. Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another so it creates more balance and stability. And then inhale, reach your arms out and up. Gaze up. Exhale, frame your front foot with your hands. So changing it up here. Inhale, curl up your right toes, lift your right knee. Exhale, step your left foot back. You're in your downward facing dog. So we are going to do just a bit of standing today. Let the crown of your head reach down. Your chest presses in towards your thighs. And then inhale, float your right leg up to the sky. If it feels okay in your body, exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hip, yawn it open. You can circle it out or just be there, right? Let your left heel feel heavy. And then you inhale, re-extend your right leg. And then exhale, step your right foot forward. Let your left heel go flat. Inhale, bend your right knee. Bring your shoulders over your hips. Nice and slow. Take your time. You're in your warrior one as you exhale. So your right knee tracks your heel or your ankle. And then if you can get this to be more about railroad tracks instead of a tightrope, you might notice that balance and stability kind of ease their way back in. Let your left hip and your left side rib cage slowly wrap forward, but it doesn't have to be perfect, y'all. And then just reach your arms up. Maybe your gaze goes up, maybe your gaze goes forward. I just want you to breathe here for maybe 2 more rounds of breath. Feel how your legs are strong and supportive. Take 1 more inhale. Now on your exhale, open this up. Find a warrior 2. Gaze to your right fingertips. Good, y'all. Now stay right here. Let your tailbone be neutral. And now your right heel is intersecting more or less the inner arch of your left foot. Now just to work a little bit of stabilizing muscles, flip your palms up. Take your gaze, your drishti, to the pool of your right hand. And then don't take it away from there, okay? So it stays there the whole time. On your inhale, straighten your right leg and bring your arms up overhead. Seal your palms together. Exhale, open this back up. Bend your right knee and open the palm up. Inhale, lift and straighten. And exhale, bend and open. Really move your breath. Last one. Inhale, straighten and lift. Gaze to your right hand. Exhale, open it up. Palms face down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, windmill your hands down. Frame your front foot. turn your left toes towards the top of your mat. Inhale, bend your right knee, pull your heart forward. Now it's a giant step forward. Exhale, your left foot meets the right and forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. Exhale your hands down to heart center. Now from here, root down into the four corners of your left foot and bring the sole of your right foot towards your left ankle. So with that, taking tree pose, right? As long as you don't press into your left kneecap, you can go anywhere you want on your left leg. So you can bring your right foot in towards your calf. You could go all the way up into your left inner thigh. You're at home, so if you need some help with balance, stand next to a piece of furniture or whatever, right? Now, could you take your right knee and pull it back ever so slightly? And then a baby tuck of your pelvis. Feel your hip flexor stretch and your gluteus medius kind of strengthen, actually, right? It's contracting. And then your arms can do whatever you want them to. They can stay at hands, heart center, arms out, arms up, whatever you need to do, but breathe. One more breath here. And slowly release your right foot down. Roll out your left ankle. So you might come onto your left toes, kind of roll everything out. And then put your foot back down. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Look up. And then exhale, fold at your hips. Let the crown of your head come down. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Step your feet back. And then just lift your hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Zip the pit of your belly in and up. And then inhale, float your left leg up to the sky. Three-leg dog. You can stay right here, or exhale, bend your left knee, stack your hip, and yawn it open. You can circle it out if you want. You can just be still. And then inhale, extend your left leg long. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Let your right heel go flat. Take your time, y'all. Bend your left knee. So set yourself up with like a firm foundation, right? And then bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. I can't tell you how many times I see people are so in a hurry to get there, right? And I'm too, so I get it. But when you just get there and you throw your arms up, a lot of times that's when you start to wobble. That's when something kind of turns off. There's no rush. There's no rush to this, right? So let your left knee track your heel or your ankle. Press actively into the outer edge of your right foot. Your right hip, if you can turn the toes slightly inward, it's going to help your right hip and your right side rib cage wrap forward, right? And then you pull the pit of your belly in and up. You want all that to pull back. And then reach your arms up overhead. And breathe. Your gaze is at the tip of your nose or gaze forward. Breathe. Good, y'all. You just got a breath or two more here. Feel your right glute and your hamstring engaged, supporting you. And then take one more inhale. On the exhale, open yourself up, warrior two on the left side. So you bend your left knee, open your arms up like a T, and then angle your right toes slightly inward. Gaze to your left fingertips. Relax your shoulders back and down. Good, y'all. Now, flip up your left palm. Take your gaze to the pool of your palm, and you don't take it away the whole time. That's what challenges your balance, right? So you're really focused. You're really concentrating. Completely exhale here. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Bring your arms up overhead. Seal your palms together. Exhale, bend your left knee. Gaze to your left palm. Inhale, lengthen, straighten, and lift. Exhale, bend, and settle. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Stay right there, palms face down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, windmill your hands down. Frame your front foot with your hands, parallel your back toes. Now inhale, pull your heart forward, and then exhale, your right foot meets the left at the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen your spine, and then exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Now this time root down into the four corners of your right foot. And you're gonna slide your left foot over either towards your ankle, your calf, your inner thigh. Find some stability here. And then same thing, kind of level your hips. Can you press your left knee back a little bit more? And baby tuck of your pelvis. Pull your belly in. Lengthen your spine. And bring your hands either to heart center, up overhead, whatever you want. Breathe. One more inhale. And exhale, place your left foot down on the ground. Maybe you bring your weight into your left foot and roll your right ankle. Get all that tension out. Both feet down to the ground. Inhale, reach your arms out and up, look up. Exhale, fold yourself down. Let the crown of your head hang down. Now inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step your feet back. I want you to bring your knees to the ground and lower yourself all the way down to the earth. Bring your forearms to the ground. So you want your arms to look like a number 11. You're pulling your elbows back towards your hip creases. So for Sphinx pose, right? And I hate to be so picky, but I want you to stack your shoulders on top of your elbows, and then your wrists are in front of your elbows. So I get a lot of like this kind of stuff, like where your shoulders are reaching forward. Get proud in your chest, right? Roll your shoulders back. Open up through your collarbones. Now if you get into this and you feel it in your low back, you've got to zip your belly in and up, and then maybe you take the top of your pubic bone and draw it towards your navel so you lengthen your low back. And then pull your elbows back and your chest forward. And find some traction. So you're stretching the front side of your body, but you're strengthening your back. Breathe. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, melt yourself down. Let your forehead come down, bend your knees. And windshield wiper your feet from side to side. Let your feet come back down to the ground. Slide your hands outside of your shoulders, outside of your chest, really. And then inhale, lift your chest. You could push up into a high cobra, right? Upward facing dog, you're actually lifting your knees, your shins, and everything. And then with your exhale, press your hips back towards a child's pose. Let the tops of your feet stay down. Reach your arms forward and melt your torso down. And then you inhale, shift back up into your box pose. And then stay right here for your exhale. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. And then exhale, thread the needle. The right arm underneath the left. Come down onto your right shoulder, your right ear, your right temple. And just be here. So if you need more, you can take your left arm forward. You can wrap it around the small of your back in a half bind. And just be there. Breathe into it. And if you feel like you might need a little bit more sensation here, You could bring your hips down towards your heels, bring your arm with you, because from child's pose it's a little bit deeper. Take about 2 more breaths here. And if you're in your child's pose, you can just slide your left hand back and unravel and press back up into your box pose. If you're still with your hips lifted over your knees, bring your left hand in front of your face. Inhale, float your right arm up to the sky. And then exhale, place your right palm down on the ground. So we all meet right here back in box pose. Inhale, float your left arm up to the sky. And then exhale, thread the needle, left arm underneath the right. Bring your temple, your ear down to the ground. You can reach your right arm forward. Wrap it around the small of your back in a half bind. Just be where you are. If you get into this shape and you're like, wow, I actually need more, that's the point where you bring your hips down towards your heels. And again, in this space, you breathe in. You know that you're breathing in. And you breathe out. And you know you're breathing out. If you took your hips down towards your heels, you'll slide your right arm back so you can press your palm down and kind of just unravel your left arm. And then you can just stay in child's pose if you'd like. If you still have your hips up over your knees, slide your right hand back in front of your face. Inhale, press your right palm down, reach your left arm up to the sky. And then exhale, bring your left hand down. Pressing back into a quick child's pose, hips to your heels, reach your arms forward, drop your forehead down. And then we all inhale, shift up into all fours. And then as you exhale, cross your feet at the ankles, sit back on your heels. And extend your legs out in front of you. All right, with both legs out in front of you, you gotta kind of move everything out of the way, right? Find your sits bones, flex your toes back towards your shins. So for Paschimottanasana, you're seated, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms up. Feel your spine lengthen as your sits bones root down to the ground. And then exhale, you can bend your knees as much as you need to if you would like a strap or something here. It's not imperative that you touch your toes, right? So your hands could be on either side of your calves. Roll your shoulders back, broaden your collarbones, and reach your heart forward. Breathe here. On your inhale, lengthen your spine. And then slowly walk yourself back up. Roll your shoulders back and down. Leave your left leg extended long. And bring the sole of your right foot towards your left inner thigh for Janushirshasana A. So inhale, reach your arms out and up. So your legs just look like an upside down number 4. And then exhale, drape over your left thigh. Relax your shoulders back and down. Now, if your hands clear your left foot, your left hand might grab your right wrist so that you get a lat stretch on the right side. Breathe here. On your inhale, lift your gaze. And on the exhale, bring your shoulders back over your hips. Lift your right knee. Let the sole of your right foot root down into the ground. Now bring your right hand behind your hip. Inhale, lift your left arm high. And then exhale, twist over to the right. Now you can either hug your right knee in, like I'm doing here, Or you could slide your left elbow to the outside of your right near thigh. I'm just going to hug in today. But now remember, as you always lengthen before you twist or lift. So lengthen and then you twist. Roll your shoulders back, breathe. Let it naturally occur, right? You'll notice in your practice that if you're having to push or pull, it usually isn't going to feel great, right? And some of it's not going to feel great anyway. But if you just keep lifting, lengthening, breathing, you just start going deeper naturally, right? Now on your inhale, turn your gaze forward. And then exhale, drop your hands over to the left. Inhale, come right back into center. On the exhale, Baddha Konasana, bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees hang open. And the heels in towards the sits bones. Lengthen your spine, roll your shoulders back. Take your inhale. And then exhale, begin to hinge forward. Kind of moving your heart towards the top of your mat. And breathe. Now inhale, lift your gaze. And then exhale, slowly bring yourself up. Bring your knees. Actually, you know what? You're just going to take your right leg out. You don't have to bring your knees up. Bring the sole of your left foot towards your right inner thigh. So that upside down number 4. And then inhale, reach your arms out and up. And exhale, fold forward. Pull your heart towards your right ankle. Relax your shoulders back and down. Breathe into Janu A. Again, your navel slides lightly towards your right thigh bone. Let your neck and your spine stay long. And then you inhale, lift your gaze. And exhale, slowly come back up. Lift your left knee. Let the sole of your left foot plant to the inside of your right thigh. And then your left hand comes behind your left hip. Use that to lengthen. Reach your right arm up. Your right leg is active. And then exhale, twist over to the left. Maybe you hug your left leg in. Lengthen your spine. Turn your gaze over your left shoulder. Breathe here. On your inhale, turn your gaze forward. And then exhale, drop your hands over to the right. Get a little bit of a counter. And then inhale, come right back through center. Baddha Konasana B. Bring the soles of your feet together. Your heels in towards your sits bones. This time, take an inhale. You're going to lengthen, but as you exhale, you round your upper back and bring, it's kind of like your eyebrows towards the little crescent moon that the arches of your feet are making, or your eyebrows towards your toes, right? So this one, there's a rounded spine. Breathe. And then slowly lift yourself back up. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then I'm going to gently leave my legs as they are, round my low back, and come all the way down to the ground. Now, if that transition bothers you, bring your knees up. It's all good. But once you come down onto your back, you're still in your butterfly legs. Bring your hands down next to your hips. Take your time getting there. And then you'll root the outer edges of your feet down to the ground. Inhale to lift your hips. So you find it's a cobbler's bridge. So bridge with your butterfly legs. Breathe here. You might notice a little shaking, a little bouncing. It's very normal. It's all good. Take one more inhale. And then exhale. Let your hips soften down to the ground. If you want to use your hands to bring your knees together like the pages of a book, do so. And then let your low back root back down into the ground. Hug your knees in towards your chest. And then I'm going to give you an option here. To either take your feet up into the sky for legs up the wall or waterfall. You could also place a block underneath your low back and do a supported waterfall. If you would like to move first into Halasana, into your plow pose, you're going to lift your hips and take your toes over your head. Elbows come in. Make sure you're not looking at me. And then if you want, you can take one leg up and then the other for your shoulder stand. If you're not interested in that type of an inversion, skip it. It's all good. Legs up the wall, waterfall is perfect. If you feel like you might need another twist after your cobbler's bridge, feel free to also take a spinal twist on the ground. Some of us need that and some of us don't, right? So feel out your body. If you're in your shoulder stand, you might stay a few more breaths. You might go back into your plow pose, right? You might do anything. And then if you would like to pass through a happy baby or something like that, when you can quiet the mind, you can hear the feedback from your body, right? Like, what is it that your body actually needs you to do? Not what your mind wants you to do, but what your body is actually saying needs to happen for your physical practice, your energetic practice to be complete, right? So if you're twisting, make sure you hit both sides. If you're in a happy baby or anything else, bring your hips, your low back down to the ground. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins and take your time, y'all, because we're not in a rush. When you bring your knees in, you bring your thighs in towards your chest. Round your forehead up to your thighs. Get that last rounding of cervical spine for your full wind removing pose. Wherever you are, one more inhale. And then exhale to your Shavasana. Extend your legs forward. Let your feet hang comfortably open. Your arms down by the side body. Let your shoulders soften back and down from your ears. And rest. what you need is to be here longer. You're going to tune me out and stay right where you are. There's absolutely no rush. If you are ready, slowly begin to deepen your breath. To wiggle your fingers and your toes. On your inhale, float your arms up overhead. And then exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins, giving yourself that last little squeeze, that hug. And roll over to the right or press up into your comfortable cross-leg sit just straight away, whatever works. We eventually all meet right here in Sukhasana, with our ankles crossed, our chests lifted, shoulders back and down, so that you end the same way you started, with integrity, with good posture. Because typically how we do anything is how we do everything, right? So make sure that we're ending things the same way we started them, with the same gusto, right? Pull your belly slightly back and in to support you. And take that final moment. You know what? Go ahead and inhale. Reach your arms out and up. Seal your palms overhead. And as you exhale, you can slide your thumbs down into your heart center. Take that last moment. Remembering that the key to your success is in your daily routine. Showing up to your mat as often, as consistently as possible. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your day, whatever it is for you. Namaste.